doing? Cheers for checking out this video. I just want to quickly say that the lesson you're about to watch is actually taken from a much larger course that you can access by clicking the link in the description. I'm going to have plenty of free stuff floating around on YouTube, so if you like what you see, please think about giving us a like and a subscribe. If you want to delve a bit further, then check those links in the description. Let's jump into the video. We're now going to look at a track that utilises that pinching technique we were working on before. It's called In My Life by the Beatles, and it's perfect for us because it starts in a very similar way to the method we've just been using. So I want you to place your thumb onto the open A string and then your first finger onto the second fret of the B string. We are going to pinch those two strings together at the same time. Again, remembering not to snatch, we just want a nice, clear, smooth tone coming away from both those strings. And we get that nice, combined, harmonised sound. Now there's a big stretch in this next bit, but that's great for developing our technique. Our little finger is going to come all the way over to the 5th fret of the highest E string, but I want you to keep your first finger down on that B. So once we've played our pinch to begin with the A and B, we keep that A in play for the next bit, which is our A, open, and 5th fret of the E. This time, use your middle finger when you pinch. Remember how we was alternating before? In that interval technique, I want you to do the same thing here. First finger, second finger. Pinching the A, open on both. And for extra strength and to help you place this first finger down, you can put your second and third fingers behind the 3rd and 4th fret. Just gives you a little bit more stability, something to anchor onto. Then we go back to where we started, the open A and the 2nd fret of the B string. And we pinch them together. So all together we've got back to that starting point. Once we've played that first bit again, the 2nd finger hammers down onto the 3rd fret. Now don't worry if you haven't worked on hammer-on techniques before, you don't have to do that here, but it's a great little technique to have, so I'd recommend having a go. All you need to do, once you've pinched that open A and 2nd fret of the B, you just let your 2nd finger fall down onto the 3rd fret of the B, but with enough pressure so that we actually hear the fret. If it's too soft, we won't get the note coming through. Just a nice, smooth transition from the 2nd to the 3rd. Sounds lovely. It's a beautiful technique to have. If you can't do the hammer on yet, don't worry. You can just pinch the open A and that 3rd fret again. You could just do it like that. So let's go from the top. Or great. Now we're going to catch the open E underneath. I did it with the hammer on there. Don't worry if you can't. If you're playing without the hammer on, so you're pinching both that 2nd and 3rd, I'd recommend catching the open E with your 3rd finger. If you're doing it with the hammer on, I'd recommend using your 2nd finger because that would still be alternating between 1 and 2. We're always looking for that smoothness, that consistency with what we're playing. Once we've played that open note, our 3rd finger comes across to the 4th fret of the highest E string, and this time the bass note we pinch with it is the open low E. And we have both of those sounding together. So all together that would be. Then there's this little low kind of chug that occurs on the open E that we can use our thumb for. We're just gently catching it to give it that little bit of extra groove before it builds into the chords. And you notice the timing on that low E that's played with the thumb is slightly different. The first one's more like a. The second one's just more of a 4 count going into the 1st verse. So all together. Cool,
It's a really lovely little riff. It happens at the beginning of the track and then it occurs throughout. It's a recurring theme, a bit of a signpost that pops up quite a lot in the track. There's one other way that I've seen some people do this. If you want to try and expand on your hammer-on technique, instead of the open E, the E note can be played on the 5th fret of the B string. So you'd get this little change instead. It's a way to really expand that hammer-on technique, because after the 1st fret, you hammer onto the 2nd. After the 2nd, you hammer onto the 5th. Takes more of a toll on the fingers, harder to achieve, but if you want to just throw that in there as a little exercise, it's a really good way to improve the strength and independence in your fingers. Or you could pinch each one of those with the open A, and then the open E on that 4th fret of the high E. Or with the pinch. Always remembering to alternate the 1st and 2nd fingers. The track goes into a really nice chord progression, so I will put that in the PDFs just so you've got a reference point, because obviously that riff doesn't last very long. It's a really good thing to learn, to develop our playing ability, but it's nice to have those chords there as well so you can try and practice along to a lot more of the track.
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please think about giving us a little like and a subscribe. And if you want to go further, remember you can hit those links in the description and you'll get access to the full courses. I hope you're feeling confident and creative, and I'll hopefully see you in one of the larger courses one day. Or for now, just have a little scout around on the YouTube channel and see what else you can find. Take care.